You installed solar panels, maybe you even added a battery. Your monitoring app shows you're producing plenty of energy, sometimes even more than you're using. So why is your electric bill still $150, $200, or even $300 per month? If you're asking yourself this question, you're not alone. This is one of the most common frustrations I hear from homeowners, and it's rarely because your solar system is broken. It's a timing problem that almost no one tells you about up front. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens, how the rules changed for many solar customers, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to IntegrateSun. I'm here to give you the truth about solar that most installers won't explain until after you've already signed the contract. So let's dive in. Here's what most people think solar means. I produce 100% of my energy, so my bill should be $0. And that makes perfect sense, right? If your panels generate 1,000 kilowatt hours in a month and your home uses 1,000 kilowatt hours, the math should be simple. You produced what you consumed. Bill should be zeros, but here's the problem. Your utility doesn't care about monthly totals. They care about when you produce versus when you consume. And for most families, those two things are completely out of sync. Think about a typical day in your house. Your solar panels are cranking out maximum power between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. But what's happening in your home during those hours? If you're like most people, you're at work. The kids are at school. Your house is sitting there barely using any electricity. Maybe the fridge is running, maybe the Wi-Fi router. That's it. All that beautiful solar energy your panels are producing, it's flowing backwards through your meter and onto the grid because you're not home to use it. Then the sun goes down. You get home. You turn on the AC. You start cooking dinner. The kids are charging their devices. You're doing laundry. Maybe you plug in your electric vehicle. And guess what? Your solar panels are producing exactly 0 watts because the sun isn't shining. So where's all that power coming from? The grid. And you're paying full retail price for every single kilowatt hour. And this is what I call the solar paradox. You can produce 100% of your annual energy and still have a massive electric bill because you're producing it at the wrong time. Now, if you installed solar before April 2023, you might be thinking, wait, I thought I got credits for all that daytime energy I send to the grid? You're right, you do, but here's where things get complicated, and this is where a lot of the frustration is coming from. If you installed your system before April 15th, 2023, you're on what's called NEM 2.0, Net Energy Metering 2.0. Under this system, you get credited at close to the full retail rate for every kilowatt hour you send to the grid. So if you export 10 kilowatt hours at noon and import 10 kilowatt hours at 8 p.m., it pretty much washes out. The grid acts like a free battery. But even with NEM 2.0, you're still paying something called non-bypassable charges. These are mandatory fees, usually about 2 to 3 cents per kilowatt hour, that fund public programs, grid maintenance, and utility obligations. And here's the kicker. Solar credits can't erase these charges. So even if you produce exactly what you consume over the course of a year, you'll still owe about $20 to $40 per month just in non-bypassable charges on every kilowatt hour you pull from the grid. Now, if you installed your system after April 15th, 2023, especially here in California, you're on a completely different rulebook called NEM 3.0, or the net billing tariff. And this is where things get rough. Under NEM 3.0, you no longer get credited at the retail rate for your solar exports. Instead, you get paid based on something called avoided costs. Basically, what it would have cost the utility to generate or buy that power themselves. And those rates, they're way lower. We're talking 75% to 90% lower than what you pay to buy that same energy back at night. So let's say you export 10 kilowatt hours during the day. The utility might credit you 8 cents per kilowatt hour. That's 80 cents total. But then at 8 p.m., when you need to pull those 10 kilowatt hours back from the grid, they charge you 40 cents per kilowatt hour. That's $4. And you just lost $3.20 on that transaction. And that's happening every single day. This is why so many people who installed solar in 2023, 2024, or 2025 are seeing bills that are way higher than they expected. The rules changed. And unless you have a battery to store that daytime energy for nighttime use, you're stuck in this export-import loss cycle. But even if you're perfectly timing your energy use, there's another layer most people don't know about: fixed charges. California is rolling out a new monthly flat fee, about $24 per month for most customers, starting in 2026. This fee covers the cost of maintaining the physical grid infrastructure, the poles, the wires, the transformers, and even if you have solar, you still rely on that grid. You use it to send your excess power out during the day. You use it to pull power back at night. You use it as a safety net when your system isn't producing enough. So the utility says, you're using our infrastructure, you need to help pay for it. And solar credits can't offset that fee. It's a flat monthly charge, period. Now, other states have different versions of this. In Texas, you might see TDU charges that can't be zeroed out. In Florida, there are base facility charges. The name changes, but the concept is the same. There are certain fees that solar just can't eliminate. So if you're wondering why your bill isn't zero, even though your production looks great, this is a big part of it. All right, so now that you know what's really going on, let's talk solutions. The easiest thing you can do, and it's completely free, is to shift your heaviest energy loads to the middle of the day when your panels are producing the most. Run your dishwasher at 11 a.m. instead of 9 p.m. Do your laundry between noon and 3 p.m. If you have an electric vehicle and work from home, charge it during the day instead of overnight. If you have a smart thermostat, try pre-cooling your home in the early afternoon. Drop the temperature a few degrees while the sun is blazing and your panels are cranking. Then let it coast through the evening. You'll stay comfortable without pulling expensive power from the grid during peak hours. This strategy is called load shifting, and it can cut your bill by 20% to 30% without spending a dime. The second solution is to add a battery, and here's why. A battery lets you store that cheap daytime solar energy and use it at night when the grid is expensive. Instead of exporting at 8 cents and importing at 40 cents, you're just using your own stored power. No export, no import, no loss. According to data from Tesla's fleet, a solar-only system typically reduces your bill by about 45%. But when you add a battery like a Powerwall, that savings jumps to 73%. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between still owing $150 a month and owing $40 a month. And if you're on NEM 3.0 in California, a battery isn't just nice to have, it's basically required if you want any kind of meaningful savings. But here's something most people don't know. If you're in California and you're on NEM 3.0, there are specific times during the year, usually in August and September, when the grid is so stressed that export rates spike to 15 times higher than normal. If you have a battery with smart controls, you can set it to export power during these power hours and rack up massive credits. I've seen customers earn enough during these months to wipe out their bills for the rest of the year. But you need a battery to do it. Without one, you're just leaving money on the table. The third thing to do is to get your system checked. Now, before you go spending money on a battery, make sure your system is actually working correctly. Go outside on a sunny day and look at your utility meter. If your solar is exporting power, you should see a negative sign or a code that says 082 or something similar, depending on your meter model. If you don't see that, your system might not be exporting at all. Check your inverter. If you see a red blinking light or an error code in your monitoring app, that's a problem. Your system could be offline and you didn't even know it. And take a look at your panels. Are there trees that have grown and started shading them? Is there a thick layer of dust or pollen? Shading just a small part of one panel can cut its output by 75% due to something called the Christmas light effect. And dirt can reduce production by 5% to 25%. If you're not sure, we can help. At Integrate Sun, we do free system health checks to make sure you're getting the production you paid for. Links in the description. Look, if you're frustrated with your solar bill, you have every right to be. You made a big investment expecting big savings, and it feels like you're not getting what you were promised. But here's the truth. Your system is probably working exactly as designed. The problem is that the rules change, the timing is off, and most installers didn't explain any of this before you signed. The good news? Once you understand what's actually happening, you can take control. Shift your usage. Add a battery if it makes sense. Make sure your system is healthy. Solar is still one of the best investments you can make for your home. But like any investment, you need to understand how it works to get the full value out of it. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you figure out what's going on with your bill, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown. And if you want us to take a look at your specific situation, head to integratesun.com and book a free consultation. We'll analyze your usage, your production, and show you exactly where your money is going. See you in the next one.